All right, let's do this thing. Send me some goddamn news, all right?
Yeah, I sent...
Hello and welcome to REKT Podcast. I am Bunchu alongside my esteemed colleague and co-host Chamber. Chamber, how you doing, buddy?
Doing pretty good,
Stop.
All right.
Let's stop. I need to redo the intro here. First of all, let's just get right to it. It was your birthday yesterday.
Yes.
So I'm not even going to ask you how you were because it was your birthday. So everybody out there listening, we are wishing Chamber a happy birthday. You how old are you?
I am 38 years old.
Wow.
When you're a kid, man, 38 is fucking ancient. And I feel that this is the birthday I feel like I don't usually get affected by age that much. But I think I'm going to react worse to 38 than I will to 40.
Really?
I think so, because I think I felt the same way at 28. I feel like once you get to the 8 of the decade, you feel like the next decade kind of on your shoulders a little bit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think that's where the emotion comes from, is prior to actually turning 40. It really affects me a couple of years before that. So I'm not doing well with 38, if I'm being 100% honest.
Oh no!
I just went on a shopping spree this morning, just buying cool fire fits online.
Well, what does that mean? What is a cool fire fit?
Like cool outfits online.
Fit? Oh my god! Get out of here! Hello, fellow kids.
I'm 100%
Insert Steve Buscemi gif on Hello, fellow kids. Holy cow. Fire fits coming at you from REKT Podcast.
All day long, bro.
Wow. Well, look, I just wanted to take a moment and appreciate you and all you've done for the podcast and myself. You're a great friend, and as depressed as you may be about yourself turning 38, we love you, and I'm sure the listeners would agree. The dude deserves more Twitter followers, so help him out there. Get him some retweets.
I appreciate that. I did not even get a follower bump on my birthday, and I was really hoping for it.
That's what you were really sad about.
100%. Like I was, you know what really infuriates me is like these new shows that come out and all of a sudden they have like way more followers than me, or like people that like recycle or created a new like handle and basically I'd start back at 0 and in a week they have like twice as many followers as me. Like it's very upsetting.
I don't blame you. I mean, we're just not that popular. Like let's just face it. I mean,
I saw that. Shout out to our boy Franklin Fitch. He actually got suspended.
I saw that. What happened?
I don't know, but I tell you what, I was really thinking if it was me that like reported him for something, because I remember like the day before that he was saying something about how he had like 15,000 followers. I'm like, you have 15,000 followers? I was very upset, and I may have put some bad juju into the atmosphere.
I thought he had like 6,000.
I'm telling you, I think it was like 15.2.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
He must have blown up overnight then. That's
Must
crazy.
Must have.
That is.
But I was totally jealous, and I may have put some bad vibes into the universe, and maybe that's what got him suspended.
Wow. You bastard.
I feel like a little bit responsible.
You bastard. Well, happy birthday, buddy. We love you.
That's super nice of you to say. I really appreciate it. You had tweeted out something yesterday, and
from both of our accounts, even though I blamed one on you, because that is exactly something you would do.
100%. But you had said something nice, and I had tweeted. I kind of commented back saying, "It feels good to be known. Thanks for knowing me." And I wanted to reiterate that fact. It's go through life, you meet lots of different people. it's very, very rare that somebody will actually know who you are. I think my wife, like my parents barely know who I am. You know what I mean? They'll say, they're like, do you, like they'll say something to me like do you even know who I am, what I like? So when somebody truly knows you, it's a real special thing. And I wanted to thank you for knowing me.
Thanks,
Not
man.
a lot of people do. So
There
I appreciate
you go.
it.
Look at us. All right. We got just a REKT podcast love fest going on over here. So, I mean, now where are we going here? We're just driving a ship without any map here today.
I'll tell you what. Yesterday, on my birthday, the market was dumping, and there was a lot of scared people.
I was gonna say, how are you feeling? Like, it's been a scary day or two, I think.
I feel like we're back. Like, I mean,
You think we're fully back?
We've definitely replaced any issue that we had from yesterday.
Well, let's go through this. Okay, so good place to start. Here we go. So let's talk about what is going on in the market. At the time of this recording, we are sitting at $49,856.50 in Bitcoin. Ethereum, 1657. BNB, 257. Wow. Cardano, 106. DOT, 34.25, XRP 47 cents, Litecoin 183, Chainlink 29, and Bitcoin Cash rounding out your top 10, $534.70. So that's where we're at. So a little bit of a shakeup in the top 10.
Yeah, big time.
Binance going a bit. I mean, I think that was probably one of the bigger stories of the last week. 7-day trend. 96 or 98.6%. That is a accurate human temperature reading of growth for good old CZ.
A lot of stuff was happening with BNB, specifically over the weekend. I want to say like Friday, people were losing their mind about like the Bitcoin Smart Chain and all the fun stuff you could do with Pancake Swap, and you were hearing more and more about like rug pulls and this and that, meaning that there was lots of stuff happening. When I hear rug pulls, that means not it's obviously a bad thing, but it kind of means that something is happening over there. You know what I mean?
Look at this rug pull.
There's something going on over there. There's money to be made.
Look over here at this rug pull.
There's money to be made on rugs. So I bought a bunch of BNB, I think on Friday, and started messing around with it over the weekend. And then, I don't know, the more I played around with it, just the more scammy it felt, in my opinion. Like it didn't feel like working on Uniswap or, Sushi Swap, that kind of stuff. And I got more, and, but buying BNB in my opinion, very close to the top was super nerve wracking. So I'm converting it. They have like a peg dollar on Pancake Swap that you can kind of go back and forth in and out of. So I was in like that peg dollar for a while, most of that weekend, because the price of BNB was dropping pretty significantly from where I bought it. But have you played around with this at all?
No, I didn't. So we were talking last week kind of about it, but I haven't gotten too much into it yet. You were saying we were joking a lot about cake last week for you. So
yes, I got some cake, I got some bake, I got some eggs. Everything seemed very suspicious.
Are you are you trading crypto, or are you my Instacart driver? What is happening here?
100%. It was very suspect. So I got nervous, and I think by Sunday night, I had kind of converted everything back to BNB. And, pardon me. Sorry, I had to cough. I'll edit that out.
Keep it in. Nobody, it's just like the movies. There's no unplanned coughs here on REKT podcast.
My throat was a little dry.
If you hear a cough, they say if you hear a cough on TV or in a movie, it means something because it's obviously not written, or it's scripted, right?
That's right.
Pay attention to that stuff.
My wife jammed a bong down my throat 30 minutes before this episode, so
wow.
A little raspy.
Wow. It must be nice. You've got a nice life. It's kind of I'm actually pretty jealous of it over there. I
well,
just
you
came
know,
on this show. I just came on and I was basically telling you how much I hate my job. And I'm like, this sucks.
That's just your opinion, man.
And you're over there like, yo, man, I just ate so much cake and eggs.
Yeah, I had a cold meatball sandwich for lunch.
Of course you did. Of fucking course you had a cold meatball sub for lunch.
It was terrific. Yeah, and it is nice. It's a nice lifestyle that unfortunately has to come to an end.
I don't think it does. I don't
At a
think
point,
I don't think it's gonna happen. You're gonna make it. You're only a couple X away.
A couple X would be terrific. We'll see, but I have to plan for worst case scenario.
That's very true.
So I got to get them.
So what's going on in this front? Are you getting a job soon or what?
I got to tell you, I haven't been very aggressive. I've only put resumes out to jobs that I'm like 100% want to do that. I've had a couple conversations here and there, but nothing too crazy. I think the big goal, or at least the biggest safety net, I approached a couple of the CEOs for competing manufacturers in my previous field, and told them that I'm up this day, and a couple of them were pretty interested. So probably just chill out until my contract.
You're gonna get all that information. Are you gonna give them all that inside info?
All of it. Yeah, that's what you're paying for, right?
So there you go. I mean, like there you go. You've got.
That's the plan. So I'm just chilling out. February is typically a really tough month in general. You know what I mean? It's even more trying with COVID being in lockdown. A lot of us are in lockdown. February is a shitty month in general, especially if you have if you have snow in your area, right? Because
dude, we have like 2 feet of snow, at least two and a half feet of snow just standing on.
I mean it's nonstop. Yeah, I've been cleaning my driveway too many times already this year. So the fact that I can just chill out at home in the middle of February definitely helps out. Just it's fun. It's fun. But like I said, it's got to come to an end soon. So hopefully I can 10x, 20x my portfolio and then chill out for a little longer.
Yeah, I mean that's the dream. I'm hoping to get there someday. Maybe NBA Top Shot is my ticket there.
Oh, buddy, it's flying! It's flying.
It's taking a little dip today. We got a little dip going on. So I feel like we have to talk about this because everybody's either talking about what the dip in the market yesterday or basically NFTs and Top Shot, and those are basically the two things that are dictating what everybody's talking about. That's all my feed is. What about you? Are you seeing the same thing?
That's it, man. NFTs, people complaining about Ethereum, and then people praising FTX. Those are kind of the three things I'm seeing.
Okay, so where should we start? These are the things we're going to talk about today.
I want to talk about Top Shots because
okay, so let's talk about Top Shot first. So we had an episode a couple weeks ago about Top Shot with Andrew. By the way, I don't know. I sent you this. I don't know if you caught it. The tweet that Andrew's co-host,
you said
from the podcast, he bought a $50,000 Luka Doncic.
Oh, he bought it.
He bought it.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. I went and looked at his account, by the way, that guy. $1.2 million worth of moments on a $10,000 investment.
Jesus Christ.
How insane.
You have to imagine some of our friends are in similar...
Oh, yeah. But the greatest thing about the blockchain is as soon as you know what their username is, you can see exactly what they're doing. So you can call out anybody LARPing as well.
For the record, the user, like I just use the one that's like generated from.
I just changed mine for
the ones that are generated are fantastic.
Yeah, for a while I was Thunderous Coyote.
That's what I'm talking about. I forget what I am like. I'm like, one sec, I have it here. It's a funny one. I loved it. I'm like, I'm never changing this one. I have, what is it? Thrifty Oxalot.
Yeah, I didn't even know what a dang oxalot was the other day until you sent it to me. I'm like, oh,
I like this one.
I'm like, oh, oxalot, buddy.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good. So shout out, just that alone, just get an account, man. It's just for the name.
So I'm seeing a lot of panic in Top Shot today, specifically.
I could see
over
that.
the past week, it has gone giga parabolic, right? So like we were talking about it, on that show, and it hadn't done a ton. It hadn't done, nearly what it's doing now. And literally in 3 days, it went parabolic. And it was just like an avalanche. NBA players started tweeting about it.
Right.
You got Gary Vee talking about NFTs and Top Shot, and you got the Mavs tweeting specifically about it. You got all these NBA players opening up packs on their streams, and the prices just went insane. They went insane. I went almost 10x. Right now I went almost 10x at the peak of of what I was, and right now I'm probably sitting about 7 times what I was when we had that original conversation about it. So I'm at a 7x of my original investment.
That's crazy. And you're like, I'm much less invested than you are. I put in, I feel like I'll say I put in about $1,000 worth. I put in $300 early just to kind of fuck around, buy a couple of packs. My experience was when you got me involved, I think that's when a lot more people started getting involved. So getting packs started to become difficult.
So you're totally right, 100%, and it was a big pain point, right?
Right. So the reason I put money in, I was like, oh, I'll get some packs, and then I feel like I was like a week in, and I hadn't even got one pack yet. So I'm like, okay, I'll just start buying them on the marketplace.
So that's, I think, where people are struggling, right? Because there's a lot of people waiting on the sidelines just to get packs, and I think they're missing a huge opportunity.
Well, you can't even open up a new account now.
That's not true. I opened up an account yesterday.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, people are just not doing it correctly. They're trying to open Dapper accounts, and Dapper isn't allowing you. You can open an NBA Top Shot account.
That's right. Okay, I see.
You can open an NBA Top Shot account. All you need is a Gmail, and you can open an NBA Top Shot account.
Bunchu gaming the system.
I'm not. No, I'm not. But I got, well, the reason I know is because I got all my buddies involved this weekend.
Oh, I see.
Some of them are doing well. Some of them not so much. So there is strategy.
Do we have some top buyers?
Yeah. Well, look, I don't think this is the top at all. I think it's just getting started. But there's definitely what happened is, people can't get packs, so they come into the marketplace, they're buying up all these moments, and everything is going up, and then you get people coming in later and still buying, and it's the same thing we see in crypto, right?
Right.
And then there's pullback, people get scared, they panic, whatever. If you're not in blue chips, your account value is going down, and people are panicking. It's a race to the bottom. It's the same thing. So we're built for this, right?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Specifically, you. You got the crypto background, you have the collectible background. I mean, it does not shock me in the least that you're thriving in the Top Shot ecosystem. But you're right, that's exactly what I saw. I started buying on the marketplace. I picked up a couple of packs, made a few bucks, but nothing crazy. Very, we're talking tens, 50s of dollars kind of thing. And then, but when I really flipped the switch with me, when I saw kind of what the price action was in the marketplace, and I said, well, I got to buy, as opposed to buying a $5 card or a $5 moment or a $15 moment or a $20 moment, I'm like, I got to buy some expensive moments. So I loaded last week. I feel like it was like Wednesday or Thursday. It was mid to late last week. And I think I put in another $700 and I just started buying up packs.
Yeah, you made a couple nice plays, and now you have. So, if you want to check out some cool tools about this, we talked about it on the show.
You got some good ones,
but we got some better ones now, or at least just a I've got a better understanding of what's out there since I've played around with it a lot more. So a couple things you can do if you're into Top Shot. CryptoSlam.io, that's going to give you a lot of what you want to look for from like checklists. So who's in the sets.
I'll put that in the notes. What's the website?
CryptoSlam.io. So that's going to have a ton of stuff. Like you're seeing today's mints. So they've minted 369,000 moments today because they're coming out with a new set, right? So personally, I think this is why everybody's panicking. So what happened was everybody deployed all their capital, right? And they rose all these prices and people made money. And now what's happening, instead of having their money work for them, they know new packs and new moments are coming out, right? So they need to get liquid. They need to have cash to buy these moments, right? So the market's dipping a little bit and people are freaking out. But what you don't... I mean, in my opinion, all you need to look at is CryptoSlam.io. Today's market volume is I'm looking at the last 30 days. Okay. So the last 30-day trend, they've done this is today. This is just today. They've done $18.4 million in volume today. Right? Wow. They did like 40 over the weekend, 40 million in a day was the top, but we're still, halfway through the day here today. Market buyers, this is what I'm looking at. 20,042 unique market buyers, right? Mm-hmm. Market sellers, 12,209.
Well, what happens when there's more sellers when there's more buyers than sellers?
The market's going to go up, right? So it's just people getting liquid, and it's probably these people that are sitting in lower end moments that don't really know how they should be targeting their, collections or whatever, because, this is where I think I have an advantage because I'm a collector outside of this, right? So I get this as in like rarity matters and big names matter and uniqueness matters. And I think, if you just bought everything in sight, you made money, but now you're trying to cash that in so you can have money to buy some of this new stuff, right? So yeah, I'm not concerned at all. I think there's a huge opportunity. And if you're not involved yet, get involved. Packs are going to be more... Right now, if you get a pack, you're guaranteed a 10x easy. But that's gonna change. Sure. That's gonna change soon because they're minting all these new moments to have packs more readily available for people. But what you're gonna see is a land grab to some of these, more rare moments, and there's gonna be tiered levels. You're gonna have really volatile shitcoin moments like your I don't know, name a player.
Verge.
Your Serge Ibaka common moment out of 25,000, right? Like Serge Ibaka dunk or block, and then you're gonna have the LeBron James cosmic out of 250 or out of 50 that goes for $208,000, right?
Well, that was my approach. I actually have 4 marketplace purchase cards. That's it.
So my guess is your account value not going down very much.
No, not at all. Not too much. I think at the peak it was maybe $4,000. Like I said, I've invested maybe about $1,000. At my peak, it was about 4,000. I'm at about 3,400 right now.
Yeah, but that's exactly it, right? And then there's people that are all in these low end moments that have are seeing their account values back to where they were last week, and it's just so funny because it's like we're back to levels that haven't been seen since last week. Since
mid-February.
People have 10x their accounts, and there's accounts with $1 million collection moments. Like there's going to be profit taking, there's going to be distribution, there's going to be all of this stuff. It's just so that's why I see it's such a cool opportunity for me because I was doing collecting on the side with physical sports cards. I've been doing crypto for the last however many years.
Right.
I'm a sports bettor. Like, I'm a daily fantasy player. It's just like this. It's just this mishmash of all of them. It's like a perfect storm for me. So,
I was gonna say the only place where I come in a little bit different, because
you're an NBA fan.
Because it's NBA. Like you were talking about players talking about it, and we can be bullish on the upside. Because it's acting the way crypto does, right? Where it goes parabolic, then there's a pullback, and then it goes up again. So we know those things, but I also know who the players, like the players that are opening packs and the players that are talking about it right now. Like at the very peak, I would say is like maybe LaMelo Ball, Josh Hart, JJ Redick, and Terry Rozier
are the ones tweeting about it at the moment,
the
right?
biggest names tweeting about it in the NBA.
Yeah.
None of those guys are all-stars. None of the all-star list just came out yesterday or the day before.
Well, they're busy. They're busy being all-stars.
Guys are on it. Exactly.
Those guys are busy being all-stars, right?
Wait until you hear Kevin Durant tweeting about it or Kyrie bitching about it.
And I have no doubt that Kevin Durant will be involved in this at some point, because Kevin Durant invested in Star Stock, which is a physical card platform that is very similar, where it's basically like a stock market for physical cards, right? And he's an investor in that. And so I don't doubt that there will be a time where Kevin Durant is involved.
That's what I'm saying. Like, wait till those guys. Like, to me, it's not the top until LeBron tweets something about it. You know what I mean? And until that happens, like there's still upside. Like the players that have the money, like imagine AD wants to get his most collectible moment. You know what I mean? Like he'll just buy it.
The other thing about people panicking right now, and I think it's misguided, right, is the perceived scarcity of the moments that are minted now is like, oh, well, I'm holding the least scarce moments. Yeah, you're holding the least scarce moment until next week when they introduce 1 million packs into the marketplace and all the new base moments are minted to 25,000, right? Mm-hmm. Now all of a sudden your 15,000 minted limited edition moment is looking a lot better, right? And that price will go up because people will move towards, there'll be a flight towards quality. And like, so my buddy just texted me and he's concerned. I got him, he's not a collector, he's not a crypto guy, and I got him involved, and I probably shouldn't have.
He's freaking out right now.
And he said to me, he's like, so are we concerned about the market? Like, and how does Top Shot restore it? I said, well, what's the concern? And he's like, well, according to Moment Ranks, my ROI has dropped 26% from yesterday, but I've gone from a top 29% account to a top 25% account. And like, that tells me I think that's a good thing. His ROI dropped, but that's a price correction, right? That's just going parabolic. But he's actually moving up from what his account value is in terms of what what everybody else has on the website. So like, that tells me it's like he's holding quality moments. Correct. And quality is going to win. Quality, scarcity, stars, rookies, all that's going to win. Like,
I would say I don't have too many stars. I have scarcity.
But you have scarcity.
Yeah, so like I have 3 out of 750s.
Nice.
And I have 1 out of 250.
That's huge, right?
Yeah.
So like,
I got a Boban. Do you know Boban? Marjanovic.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you listening, he's a giant. He's like the second tallest player ever in the NBA. He's got his hands make the basketball look like a grapefruit. It's insane. So it's one of him dunking. So it's a hilarious dunk. And it's 152 out of 250. I feel like that one's going to be worth something.
Well, and like the other thing is there's just less sellers, right? So there's less sellers. So when this panic, you're holding expensive moments, or relatively, and so there's not going to be as much of a readiness to sell. It's the same thing we see in crypto. So it's like, it's going to be hard because there's a lot of people that aren't in crypto that are getting involved. There's a lot of people that aren't collectors that are getting involved. So like, it's a weird mix of, I understand it, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm having a grand old time. So this has been my most fun I've had in crypto in quite some time. So
that's exciting.
Yeah, man. So what else? What are we talking about today? Are we going to get to a little news?
Yeah, you want to talk about some news?
All right, let's get to the news. All right, what do we got? We're just chatting about the news. We're not going to be reading any news stories, correct?
Correct. We had some good feedback over the weekend about...
And not microphone feedback either.
No. Microphone feedback is never good feedback.
Which we've had a lot of lately.
Fuck. Just maybe a bit more of a discussion about the news, because a lot of times, people come for the banter, I think, and they don't come for the news. So we'll keep the banter in the news.
I think that's kind of what our show is, right?
Yeah. Something new. I'm glad you threw it to the news, because I couldn't deal if we couldn't.
If you couldn't do the drops.
Drops, yeah.
Yes.
I need a drop.
Yes.
So I'm glad you threw it to the news. So I guess we'll talk about. I got the big news of today is MicroStrategy, our boy, Bitcoin bull. What's his name? I want to call him Michael Sweeney.
No, Sailor.
Michael Saylor. Michael McSweeney is the author of the article that I'm reading. That's why. So they came in this morning, or maybe over the weekend, and MicroStrategy added just over $1 billion worth of Bitcoin to its balance sheet. So we had the big news a couple of weeks ago with Tesla with their $1.5 billion on the balance sheet, and now we're seeing an additional $1.026 billion in cash at an average price of $52,765 per Bitcoin.
That was his price, so he's down.
He is currently down. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, where are we now? About 50?
49, I think we said at the top of the show. So,
yeah.
Wow. Okay, so he doubled down.
He doesn't give a fuck. It's only up from here.
I mean, look, I think there's a couple things to be said about that, right? Like, we busted on him a little bit for taking, investor loans to take out or to buy Bitcoin, but that's besides the point. I think he's doubling down at what is a relatively high price for Bitcoin. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
like this isn't 15 grand, and we're seeing him buy in. This is
not even 30 grand. You know what I mean? Like,
right,
would be a
he just market bought essentially.
It's amazing. Yeah, he bought $1 billion worth of Bitcoin at $52,000. That's crazy.
Yeah.
If we were talking about this 6 months ago, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's bananas.
Yeah. So I would say bullish still.
Oh yeah, man. This is.
Are you concerned at all?
I'll tell you the only concern.
Corrected? Are we?
The only concern I have no concern about Bitcoin. I think this is a healthy pullback, and it's going to consolidate a little bit, and we're going to go up higher. I mean, I still think 6 digits is in the discussion for 2021. I mean, that's. I'm more bullish. I mean, we were almost at 60K last week or whatever, 2 weeks ago.
I know.
So 100K it's, in my opinion, it's fucking for sure happening. I think I said like 140 something, which, is, if it gets to 100K, what's another 40K on top of that? Between friends.
Yeah, right.
But no, I'm definitely not scared of the pullback on Bitcoin. It's not the same. Like, you remember what it was like when Bitcoin went from 4,000 to 20,000 in a blink of an eye. I mean, we're not seeing that percentage level in Bitcoin right now. Like, it's a steady incline. It's making a new all-time high, consolidating a little bit, sometimes a little bit of a pullback. Like, we did have that pullback maybe a month ago to like 30K from 42 or whatever we were. And we pulled back to 30. And then we, next thing you knew, we were almost at 60K. So it's going to have, like, next thing you know, we're going to be at fucking 75K, probably by end of March, which wouldn't shock me. So yeah, no, I think this is good. The only thing that worries me is Ethereum stuff, to be honest. The fees are just
Ethereum stuff.
Yeah, just this general Ethereum. It didn't have the same price action as literally almost everything else in the market. And that was because I think of the transaction fees being way too high.
It's hard to use, man. You can't
hard.
like, I don't know.
And then we were talking earlier about like Binance Smart Chain. The whole reason there was so much action happening there is because you could do transactions for like 20 cents.
Right.
Like I did so many transactions over the weekend on Binance Smart Chain. I think I made out a little bit better just because I kind of hedged down on BNB over the weekend, which worked out a little bit. Like I may have made like 5%, but the amount of transactions you could do to fuck around on BSC was easy because I may have paid $2 all weekend to do like unlimited transactions on BSC. I think now with FTX, I mentioned it earlier. Like over the weekend, I just kept reading more and more about FTX and what they were doing and the ecosystem that's there. And now you kind of have this in between Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain with some of their dexes that they put out. They just came out with one called Radium that dropped.
Oh, want to give that shout out?
Big shout out to 5 a.m. Our friends from our Telegram group, big supporter of us on Twitter, multiple T-shirt owner.
We in fact put we put him on we T-shirtized him this weekend and sent him a shirt. Yes.
Yeah. So he recommended we actually buy Ray on FTX. Me being from Canada, it was no problem. I could just create. I had
quite the difficult time.
I know it sounded like it. I felt bad. But being a non-American, I hadn't had a FTX account. 5 a.m. sent me his ref link. I used it, and I don't know how ref links work, but if I've migrated quite a bit over there now, so I purchased everything from the FTX ecosystem. So I got some FTT. I've had that for a bit now, but I got some Ray. I got some Sol. I got some. I got it all. I got. I don't even know what I have. I think I have 5 different FTX coins, and they've all been just monsters over the past 3 days. So yeah, no, huge fan. And then they, like I said, they came out with their own kind of Uniswap using the Solana network. I haven't used it too much, but apparently the fees are very, very similar to Binance Smart Chain. But you have none of that shady shit that's happening over on BSC. Like, did you see are you familiar with the NFT punks that were out? Over the past,
and did they make a knockoff?
Fucking made a knockoff and like sold it and promoted it, and it was exactly the same. And the degenerates all purchased it. It went through the roof.
Yeah, who's gonna buy those bags though?
That's a tough one. That's
like,
a tough one.
I get the crypto punks, right? Like I get that,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
It's got value to that, right?
Right.
The Louis Vuitton knockoff version, nobody's buying that from you.
But doesn't it devalue the original ones though too? Don't you find?
That's a good question. Let's ask our guest on
Friday.
On Friday, because we're gonna go full NFT on Friday.
Because I have that one. Not that it necessarily devalues it because there's a carbon copy, but does it just take away the zing of the punk? You know what I mean? Like a little bit of the
zing.
Yeah, the punk zing.
Yeah.
I bought a bunch of these. Have you heard of these chromey squiggles?
I had because I was messaging you about them, and I kind of wish I bought one. But are we turning into NFT maximalists here? Is this what's happening right before our eyes on this show?
Maybe. I don't know. Everybody seems to be. You're definitely more an NFT guy than I am. But Frank put out a tweet the other day about these squiggles, and I'm like, okay, which ones? And he just posted which one I should buy. So I bought it, and then I bought 2 other ones that were similar for a similar price. And now I think I bought them for like maybe a quarter of an Ethereum, and now they're all like the lowest price for these things are half of an Ethereum. So I basically doubled my
Wow, look at you.
Yeah.
Look at you.
And I have them on OpenSea now for all of them for 69 Ethereum each. So, so if somebody wants to buy one, These things are insane, though. Like they're all they are. I don't know if somebody just made them on their phone, but they're just squiggle marks on a white background, like you would use to when you have a picture on your phone, you want to edit it.
Yeah, man, but it's about the art.
It's insane. So, whatever. If it goes up in price, who am I to judge? You know what I mean?
That's right.
So, that's it. So NFTs. I'm excited to talk to this guy. Hopefully he gives us some insider information on what to buy next. What the next punks are.
I'm definitely going to ask, right?
Right.
I feel like we have to, ask. But, all right, so for our last little tidbit of news here, Square reports 4.57 billion with a B in Bitcoin sales for 2020 via Cash App. So they apparently, it says here that in the fourth quarter alone, how much do you think they did?
I have no idea.
1.76 billion, so almost half of that entire amount in the fourth quarter.
That's crazy.
1.76 billion. Gross profits from that were 41 million for the quarter.
Wow.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's crazy. That's
so much in the year over 2020, they made 97 million in gross profit for the year off that almost 4.5 billion in Bitcoin buys.
Crazy.
Wow.
Can't we just start one of these companies?
Dude, I was just thinking about that. I'm like, all I do is facilitate, and it's like not even really their Bitcoin. Like, it's not custody, or it's not your custody. So it's just they're just facilitating and putting numbers on your screen. Right. Like, so that's pretty crazy. Bullish.
Oh, totally. Yeah, no,
I think we need a segment about news. That's either bullish or bearish, and we'll read the news, and you decide bullish or bearish.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything bearish these days. Like, even when they try to, like somebody, there was like a government thing that came out the other day, like a U.S. government thing that said, Bitcoin's used in, like the same bullshit, right? Like, drug trafficking and like, yeah. The American dollar is 10 times more prevalent in those industries, you know what I mean, than Bitcoin. So, yes. There's nothing stopping us. There's nothing stopping us.
Wow. That's the most bullish I've heard you, I think. Like, and you're a big bull.
And I mean, again, when I say
I'm fully on board. I've done, I've come fully out of the hibernation, and I'm about as bullish as you could possibly be.
That's amazing.
So the top is in.
The top is on. Sell everything. No, but when I say there's nothing stopping us, there's nothing stopping us from getting completely euphoric and having another blow off top like we did in 2017. Again, I don't know where that number ends. It's going to be between, in my opinion, between 100,000 and 200,000, somewhere in there. If it's more, terrific. If it's less, also good. That's fine too. But I think there's nothing stopping us from completing this cycle. There's no news that's going to come out that's going to stop us from achieving that.
Yeah, I'm with you. So, to the moon, as they say.
Yeah.
What else we got today? Anything?
I don't know. I don't think so.
We're just, we're just coming on to shoot the shit these days. We just, our structure has fallen off the map, but we, our show is basically banter as is, right?
We had to flip. We had a guest scheduled for today that's flipped to Friday, so we were gonna have the banter show on Friday. So we weren't prepared mentally for a scripted episode.
Yeah, but that's okay. Now that's 2 in a row. I think we're getting into a new groove. Look, the more of these we do, well, the less scripted they're going to be. So that's how it is.
Let us know if you prefer the lackadaisical banter over the scripted, Associated Press like reporting that you're used to.
You mean Associated Press reading of reporting that tweet?
So that's what I meant.
Yes. Yeah. But nothing really fun to go on at the end of the show here. Like we usually play some fun and games. What do you got? Anything off the cuff we can do?
I mean, you have any? I don't know. What can we do? You want to make fun of my tweets? You want to?
Oh, let's make fun of your tweets.
That's always good. That's always great entertainment.
Love it. Let's make fun of your tweets.
I'm pulling mine up too, just to see what I'm. I don't even know why I said that.
Oh, all right. Defend this tweet. You're pot committed to Ray.
Oh, 100%. So, Ray is that that DEX I was talking about that was on the Solana network. It's Radium. Bruh, like it's like at a $80 million market cap right now. If it's gonna do what I think it's gonna do, it's
my second biggest bag already.
It's my.
By the way, what the hell happened to Badger? When did it become Bagger?
I still have. I've sold some of mine. As it went up.
I've sold nothing.
Oh really? Yeah.
I'm gonna come all the way back down with it.
It's. I'm not. I sold my bag of Rook over the weekend.
Oh, wow. Okay. Big moves.
That was a big move. But I had Badger on the chopping block, and then like I said, I took some profits along the way up. I don't even think I took any at the very top, but kind of on the way up. So everything that I have in it right now is all profit. I think I still have faith in this one. I think this one still has some legs in it. Just with their.
Last week you were saying it was going to be $1,000.
Yeah, no, I still believe that.
Okay, all right. I'm just making sure you still believe that.
No, I haven't sold one Badger in at least 3 weeks.
Okay, all right. So you're holding what you have for Badger.
Correct.
All right.
For the record, I've unstaked it though.
Oh wow. Okay, so it's ready to go.
It's ready to go.
Ready to go at the drop of a hat here for your Badger. Next tweet. Who hurt you? We're all the results of our childhood traumas.
That's right. That's right. We are all the results of our childhood traumas is 100% accurate. I said that today in a whimsical fashion. Believe it or not, I don't even know why I didn't lead with this. I think we have a neighbor, a group of neighbors next door that rents out I think it's the whole house. But they're questionable people. And I think one of them OD'd yesterday. And died.
Mm.
And I think my daughter kind of caught wind of what was happening, and I think I said that in passing. I said we're all a result of our childhood traumas. And, obviously if you're ODing in the, basement apartment somewhere, you've probably had some childhood traumas that you're, the result of.
I see.
So, tough. Yeah. And if you didn't have childhood traumas, then you're probably a very well-adjusted human being.
I was trying to think when I was reading this, like, do I have many childhood traumas?
Yeah, so it can go both ways. If you don't have any, then you see it as you're well adjusted.
Yeah. Let's see if there's any more here. Pro tip: if you don't know who the hot one is in your relationship, you're the ugly one.
That's true. I know who the hot one is in my relationship, and it is not me. So if you're wondering who the hot one is in yours, it's definitely you.
That's funny. All right. I think that's gonna do it for us. Just some fun banter at the end. And we are gonna get out of here. We've got another show coming for you Friday afternoon. We have a up and coming legend, I would say, in the NFT space. And we're going to talk all things NFTs. So shoot us some questions if you have, or anything like that. The people are clamoring for new shows. We just got someone in our Call them out. The droid you seek, just in the Telegram group. New show today? Question mark. Yeah, baby, we got you. We got you. All right, that's going to do it for us. Don't get wrecked, and that is financial advice.
Hey everybody, thanks for listening.
You can help support us by giving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and become a REKT patron by signing up for a monthly tier on patreon.com. That's patreon.com/REKT podcast. Don't get wrecked.